Hey YouTube, what's going on? I am the Rockin Aerodactyl with my good friend Jspeckz.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Price is Right.
And yep, and this is the fourth episode. Yeah, the fourth episode of the podcast. And a lot, and I mean a lot, has happened since we last were here. So we're gonna just jump right in and talk about the new Pokemon that were released. Do you have one you want to talk about in particular?
I like the bug, man. What Grubbin's evolution line is looking interesting. I'm hyped for that. I love that it gets Yo, honestly, I don't. It's too much hype. I love that it gets levitate. I love it a lot. But I honestly want to see what they're going to do with the main dog thing.
The Rock one?
Yeah, I want to see what they're going to do with that.
Rockruff is his name, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see if he turns into like this giant rock dog of death, or if he's just gonna be another Lanoon.
Yeah. So since basically, okay, so I'm trying to think. In the last video, I think we just talked about the legendaries, but like none of these other guys have really been released. I'm just making that. So yeah, Rockruff. So far, its only known moves are Bite, but obviously it's going to learn new things. But like you said, I really hope, at least I hope becomes a little more fiercer, if you know what I mean, a little more fierce. What about?
Yeah, I don't want it to be a
Yeah,
scrub.
I hear you. And then we also have Kamala, the koala Pokemon. Personally, what I think stands out is its ability. Is it comatose? Yeah, I think that's it, comatose. But basically, you can only be put to sleep, but you can't be burned, you can't be poisoned, paralyzed. I hope its evolution maintains that because I think that's a pretty cool ability. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that ability would be absolutely insane, especially if it's like an offensive presence. I feel like it's gonna be more of a support Pokemon, just because if it's like a physical threat, it's kind of broken to not be able to do anything but go to sleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I feel like it's gonna be like a support Pokemon. Probably on the slower, bulkier side, but it's gonna be able to do a lot of supporting. It's gonna have decent physical attack, in my opinion,
Mhm.
but it's not gonna be able to sweep. And I don't really think it's gonna get anything like Swords Dance or anything like that, just because of its ability and the way it seems. Is because I feel like if it has like a slacking type of
Yeah.
stat distribution, it's going to be a
It's
monster.
gonna
It's
be.
going to be
Oh,
broken.
I mean, like in VGC, the number one way I deal with physical Pokemon other than Primal Groudon because he's fire type is Sableye, Prankster, Will-O-Wisp. If you can't Will-O-Wisp this guy, he's just all you can do is really intimidate him. But that can only get you so far. Like you said, this guy could be a broken sweeper if he became got those slocking stats. But yeah, I definitely see the support. Something I do like about him though is if you don't basically want him to be immune to stats, he really just needs to have a Chesto Berry, and you're good. No need to run Lum.
Yeah, exactly. You could just run Chesto, or you can just run Sleep Talk as its fourth move, and
Yeah,
at that point, you have Sleep Talk with three moves, and you can pretty much destroy everybody.
yeah, so much. Now, if only had a Pokemon that was basically immune to sleep. I mean, we have a few in VGC, but because of all the Smeargle being used, I mean, you got Gorgeist with Insomnia, you've got Mega Mewtwo, but I mean, Mega Mewtwo has to Mega Evolve, so you really can't switch him into Dark Voids, and then Gorgeist can only bring you so far. I mean, there's some success I've seen with it on YouTube, but I mean, with Primal Groudon and Salamence and all these other Pokemon being so dominant in the format, its typing is just not optimized. So if we only had a Pokemon that was immune to sleep, then maybe Smeargle wouldn't be used as much.
Yeah, no, I'm all for getting rid of the sleep spam. Dark Void spam is annoying. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do any like with everybody complaining about, Jenning and stuff. I'm surprised people aren't complaining about Dark Void
Yeah.
Smeargle, because technically it shouldn't be that easy for you to get a Dark Void Smeargle, because you'd have to have a Darkrai with Dark Void and a Smeargle, and then you have to be able to have Sketch available to sketch that at the
Hmm.
time. And it's like there's a whole bunch of different variables to you being able to have Sketch Smeargle.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Dark Void
Yeah,
Smeargle.
I hear you. However, something I do like about using Smeargle, really quickly, if you don't mind me going into the VGC, is just by having it, like I like to have it on my team for the mentality. I've made 3 teams to try out. I'll be because I'm going to fall regional, so I'm so hyped to go to Houston again this year. But I like having Smeargle on my team because basically it forces my opponent to have all their Smeargle counters. But then if I don't even bring Smeargle, then there's no point for them to bring it. So, like Smeargle's so formidable. Like just by having it, even if you're not going to use it, is a weapon in itself. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, of course. When I did dabble in VGC, as soon as I saw Smeargle, I was like, "Well, time to pull out my Taunt Thunderous Eye,"
Hmm.
or mons like that. Your prankster mons
Yes.
that can stop Smeargle in his tracks. Those are usually always brought when you see Smeargle because you already know Smeargle's just gonna come out and use Dark Void, and nobody seems to be different with their Smeargle. Like
Hmm.
literally, every time they bring Smeargle and they leered it, if you taunt them, you were right because they click Dark Void anyway.
Yeah, that's true. They're pretty much just gonna spam Dark Void. Something I actually decided to play with is because I use Choice Scarf Smeargle. That's my favorite Smeargle to run, not the Sashed Moody. However, based on its performance and nats, I may experiment with it. But I actually run Switcheroo on my Smeargle because I can like give Xerneas or like I can shut it down, give it a Choice Scarf, so now it's locked into Geomancy or something like that. But I've never seen Switcheroo on Smeargle, so I'm excited to play with that. Just that, you know, weird little niche.
No, yeah, I definitely understand. That could be definitely interesting, man. I wish they change it so that you can actually switch, like do trick and switcheroo on things with Megastones. Like, yes, the Megastone doesn't necessarily help, isn't really an item anymore
Yeah.
once they Mega Evolve, but they're still holding it.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I mean, that would be something decent to switch, in my
Oh
opinion, at
no, I
least.
agree.
Because
I completely agree. Or being able to knock off a Megastone and prevent that Kangaskhan or whatever from Mega Evolving, that'd be so huge.
yeah, that would be broken.
Hmm.
That would actually be crazy if you can knock those off.
Maybe if we get a new evolution in Sun and Moon, as so many people speculate, we'll actually be able to knock it off. I think that actually would definitely help and add an interesting twist to the meta.
I don't want them to add that a new evolution. They need to scrap that idea, put it to rest, please, please, Game Freak. No new evolutions.
Yeah, I have the same mentality. I honestly don't want another Mega Evolution, especially like we've said before in almost every episode. You already got Primal and Mega, but most likely, I bet they will add something just because of the Japanese thing and all the other speculation. Shall we move on to the next Pokemon that was released? You there?
Rip me for being on mute. Yeah,
Oh,
by all
sorry.
means, lead
Oh,
the
no,
way,
you're
my
good.
friend. Lead the way.
So we have, I won't say this right, Peaky Peck, but it was the woodpecker Pokemon. In fact, that's actually its classification. Normal flying, and its abilities was Kenai and Skill Link, and that's really what stood out to me, the Skill Link, because usually the birds aren't that good. I mean, even Mega Pidgeot, no one really uses Mega Pidgeot, at least in VGC. But I mean, Staraptor, no one really uses. I mean, to some extent, it is used. I think it was used at Worlds in 2014 on one of the top 8 or top 16 teams, but I don't recall. I forget which division it would be. But I mean, the bird, the main birds like Noctowl, they're not really used. But just that skill link, like if you got something such as Tail Slap, which I bet it gets, Bullet Seed, basically kind of like Mega Heracross, I think that would definitely make it somewhat viable. But it depends on its stats and when it mega evolves and its not mega evolves, when it evolves, its evolutions and its skill moveset and all that. But I'm kind of interested with that skill link, hoping that it actually does something. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I hope if it doesn't get some of the moves that are already there, I hope they create some more moves. Like we have Water Shuriken, they created that Gen
Yeah.
6. Keep it going. Make some more, like, or turn a Fury attack into a stab
Hmm.
flying move, since all birds get that anyway, basically. Most birds, at least. I really want to see what that can do. I'd love to see it. I can see it getting Bullet Seed, but at the same time I can't, just because it's a
Yeah.
bird. I mean, a flying type. Um, but I'm trying to think of some of the other five.
But the only ones I can think of is Tail
It,
Slap and Rock Blast.
Yeah, those. Yeah, but the rock blast it doesn't really
No,
fit
yeah,
the
yeah.
bird. Like I don't think the bird should be able to
I
get
see it
that.
getting bullets. See, like it's a woodpecker, like it's kind of drilling into a tree and then taking the remains and then shooting it, maybe. But you mentioned moves, and do you want to branch off real quickly and talk about the new moves? Like they released the effects of the moves. We already talked about Thousand Arrows and Thousand Waves, but they also released the effects of the other moves, or just moves that have been listed. Do you want to talk about those real quickly?
By all means,
All
let's
right,
do it.
so
Let's
first
do it.
off, we have Corn Fortune, which we all saw, like that beautiful Creek the Z on the Garchomp. That was just a beautiful animation. But something I thought was interesting about its effect is it actually removes the abilities of the Pokemon it hits if the Pokemon using it has already been hit. At least that's what I believe the effect is. Like I'm reading it.
My lord.
What?
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I didn't even know they dropped the abilities after these moves. So some of this is kind of throwing me for a loop right now because I'm looking at it just as you're looking at it.
Yes, I definitely see a lot of potential there. And what's actually going through my mind is Smeargle usage, not because I don't think Zygarde and the two mascot legendaries are actually going to be viable in VGC 17, especially after VGC 16. However, I can see Smeargle actually, if it was able to use these moves, being like maybe become less of a Dark Void user, maybe use these cool moves that can do these interesting effects. Just a thought, but of course it depends if you can use it. Like Hyperspace Fury or Hyperspace Bowl, the signatures for Hoopa actually can't be used by Smeargle. At my first VGC PC, I tried that and it couldn't work. So I don't know if that'll actually happen with these Pokemon, but it's definitely interesting. And next up we have Floor Cannon. Do you know how to pronounce that?
Uh, Fluor cannon, something with it's a cannon.
Yeah.
Okay,
It blows
it's a
things up. That's
pretty
all you need to know.
pink cannon, and it drops special attack by 2 stages.
So it's basically gonna be like the 140. Is it still 140? No, it got brought down to 130. I think. Yeah, I'm thinking Gen 5
Yeah.
down, but in Gen 6, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't like all correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't all the like Leaf Storm, Overheat, all that didn't that be dropped? Did that drop down to like 130 special like base power, right?
No, I think it did all drop
Mm-hmm.
down to 130, and you lose two. So it's just basically another one of
Yeah.
those. So that's actually an amazing. It has to be a
Oh,
fairy
it has
type.
to because well, I mean, looking at it, like I said, it has to be the fairy. I could think psychic, but we already got psycho boost for that, so I mean, it probably wouldn't be. But yeah, I really hope that this isn't exclusive to the Magirna. I think that's how you say it, Pokemon. Just be
Yeah, that's how you say
sweet.
it.
I got a name right for once, but like I hope that the other fairy types like Sylveon, Gardevoir will be able to use it just because it looks like it'll be an interesting move and will definitely affect like what the move sets and people will use just because you got that such high power. It's basically gonna be like the Draco Meteor. Well, it is the Draco Meteor fairy types.
Yeah, that's crazy. You give Gardevoir a Draco Meteor? Oh my lord.
Yep, GG. I don't care if you're using Mega or Quas or you're using Core Enforcer, Xerneas, just GG. Alright, next we have Leafage, which was the move that Rowlet used, but there's no confirmed effects for that. Most likely it won't be, but I like that they added a move other than Absorb for the starter. I really like that.
Wait, wait. This move attacks the Pokemon with some leaves.
Basically, yeah. Oh, wait. That's great. That's actually what it says.
That's actually
That's
hilarious.
great. If you guys go into Cerebi, and we'll leave links in the description to all of the like pages we're looking at, it actually says this move attacks opponent with some leaves. That's just bravo, Game Freak. Well said. Unless that's actually not the official one, and
Some leaves, like not
it's great.
not an abundance of leaves, not a lot
Just
of
some.
leaves. This move attacks the opponent with some leaves.
All right.
All right.
Not even like
So
razor leaf, not sharp leaf, just leaves.
just some
That's
leaves.
great.
So it's probably gonna be like a base 30.
Yeah, something like that.
With that description, it has
With
to
that,
be
yeah,
like
at most or at least something like that, just around 30, yeah. So, and we have already seen like Moongeist Beam, I think that's how you say it, but Sunsteel Strike, And I don't know if we mentioned it, but this attack actually ignores the effects of abilities. So, like, let's say you have an ability that I don't know what this, like levitate. And let's say this just so happened to be a ground type attack, it would still attack you. So I do like that. It's basically like a move that like has mold breaker, which I think is pretty cool. Your thoughts?
Depending on its typing, this can be game changing.
Definitely.
Even though only, I'm pretty sure only Lunala is gonna get it.
Yeah, and Sol Galileo. But also, like I said, Smeargle might be able to use them, which would be interesting if he can use these moves, and depending on the format, could be somewhat effective. We also have Nature's Madness, which is basically a what's it called? It's like a super. It's like basically a super fang. It cuts your opponent's HP in half. But I'm guessing it's not a normal type. Most likely a fairy type is my theory, specifically because the Guardian, the first Guardian, Tapu Koko, I believe that's how you say it, used it, and I'm guessing like this is the signature move of all the four Guardians. Your speculation?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really need another Super Fang. Like it's especially if it's gonna be a move that just he gets.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's I don't know. I mean, I understand Game Freak's trying to spice some things up, but moves like that don't need you know duplicates.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, Super Fang in VGC is already pretty broken, in my opinion at least. A lot of people can disagree with me, but because you have these such beefed up Pokemon, the primals with such high stats, and with moves that rely on your HP, you just Super Fang them, and all of a sudden that attack is worthless. So that again, those Pokemon will most likely not be used in VGC 17, but I'm guessing they just added this so that possibly the four Guardians had a signature, but I mean, yeah, I do agree that you don't need a duplicate. And that's pretty much it, I believe. We already talked about Thousand Arrows and Thousand Waves in the last episode, but we can move on to Pokemon back again, and we have Young Goose. Young Goose. Or is it Young Oos? I don't know. The Trump looking one.
I just yeah, it's Young Goose.
Okay.
Just call him Donald Trump because that's what everybody's gonna nickname him.
Seriously. That hair, but its abilities are what stand out to me a lot. First off, he has strong jaw, so I'm really hoping that his evolution, I kind of see him being more like a Lanoon kind of evolution, but his abilities are what stick out to me. First off, strong jaw, and for those of you that don't know, strong jaw basically means all biting moves get a 33% boost, which is pretty cool. So I'm guessing that his evolutions will most likely contain have the moveset of Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, and Fire Fang, which is a theory of mine. But also Stakeout, and if you look at what Stakeout does, it does double damage on a Pokemon if they just switch in, which could actually be big in battles if you want to punish switches. Like if you're predicting a switch in, you can severely punish them by doing double damage. Of course, that is if the evolved form actually has decent stats and basic things like that.
Yeah, I actually Stakeout. I'm very interested to see. Like, I hate that they're making all these great new abilities and they're sticking them on to possibly horrible Pokemon.
I completely agree. I'm thinking, oh, these abilities, all the, technical capabilities in competitive format. And then I'm like, yeah, but it's on things such as a Young Goose, a Kamala, and that fish thing. I'm kind of hoping that the evolutions are pretty decent and maintain that.
Because let's be real here, Young Goose isn't aesthetically pleasing to me at all. It is not a Pokemon I would ever try to use.
I completely agree. Completely agree.
On my journey, it just looks like a Zigzagoon. It looks like a Lanoon. It looks like a Rattata. Something that I'm gonna see a lot of that I'm not gonna want to catch.
Looks like a Lanoon, but on a political strike or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so I understand Game Freak is flexing their their skills on making these new cool abilities, but they're throwing them on mons that people aren't gonna want to
Yeah.
use. So come on, Game Freak, save the good stuff for later, my
And really
friend.
quickly, I'd just like to mention that personally, I was worried that Game Freak was running out of ideas. I was worried because honestly, fifth gen. Now, this is me personally, but fifth gen was my least favorite generation. I feel like that was like a low point for Pokemon with the Pokemon designs. But then I feel like they came back in Gen 6, and I'm really happy with the design so far in Gen 7. They look like Pokemon, and they're really maintaining that, originality.
Yeah, I hear you. Some of the Pokemon I'm kind of iffy on. Like I'm like,
Like
okay.
Bruxish.
Yeah, it's like like the Rock
Hmm.
Ruff. That the look is
Yeah.
decent. You know, it looks like starter
Yeah, yeah.
uh trash Pokemon
Yeah, I hear
basically.
you.
Same with Kamala. They both look like starter trash
Hmm.
types. So I mean, I really like Rockruff's design. It looks amazing. The koala looks amazing. The bird looks
Hmm.
amazing. I don't like Young Goose at all. I don't. I don't like its design. But I don't even like that new dragon's design
Oh,
really.
really? I'm a huge fan of that one, but we can. That's me though. I know a lot of people don't like it, but when I saw that thing, I was like, oh, "This is the best Pokemon they've released yet." But again, that was me. I'm
I mean, it screams Tropius to me. Like it's just going to be something that doesn't evolve
yeah.
and it's going to be
It
useless.
screamed. What I thought was that, like you said, it's gonna look useless, but I just really like the design for some reason. I don't know. Plus that normal dragon typing, but here we can skip down and move on to Drampa while we're discussing it. So Drampa, so far the only known moves is Dragon Breath, but I really really like it. I agree though. It doesn't look like it's going to mega. It doesn't look like it's going to evolve. I hope it does because I really like the design and what I'm excited to see where it's going. But also, I like its ability Berserk, where if you're below 50% HP, you got double special attack, which I do like.
Yeah, that's a very cool ability, but it just looks like if it's really the Dragon Grandpa Pokemon, it's going to be slow.
Yeah, definitely a
So
trick room move.
somebody's just going to be able to click close combat twice and kill it.
And because it is like the Grandpa of Dragons, I feel like it is not going to evolve. If you know,
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
I feel like it'll be like a mediocre Pokemon you'll catch in the middle of the game and use it for a while until you get better Mons.
yeah, it's like the thing with Pokemon is they make these designs that you can obviously tell what's going to be good and what's not going to be
Yeah.
good, and then once you see that, your thoughts are usually right,
Yeah.
and then those Pokemon just sit in the back burner
Hmm.
where they belong.
So I do hope though that they'll release like eventually. I don't want them to release all of it, obviously, but I do want them to at least release some Pokemon that you'll be using in game to fight the Elite Four, the champion, or Pokemon you'll be using competitive play. Those Pokemon that look like they've had three evolutions. They're pretty powerful, pretty buff, and I do want to see a few of that just for the hype. But I also want to be surprised. You know what I'm saying when the game actually comes out.
Yeah, I mean for me so far that's how I feel about Vikavolt. I want to use it.
Yes, exactly. And let's talk about Grubbin's evolution line then. So obviously Grubbin we've seen. I don't think there's not much to talk about. He looks like this will be like the Caterpie of that region. Charjabug is interesting. Just it's a cocoon. I do like its ability. I wish that honestly that Vigavolt had the option to get that just because the
Yeah, that's another thing I feel about Game Freak. Like I said, they're flexing their ability to have all these
yeah
abilities. I don't like that Grubbin's whole evolution line has three different
yeah.
abilities.
So I hope that more Pokemon have battery because how battery works, guys, is basically your ally has double. No, I don't know if it's double. I don't think it's double special attack. They just have one special attack boost, but that simply means if you like switch in that turn, or and then you have a red card and you're hit and you switch out or whatever, you still have that special attack that turn, allowing you to do some good damage. So again, though, it's Charjabug that has it. I doubt we'll be seeing any of those in competitive play or anything like that. So I do agree they're flexing it, their ability to create new abilities, and I wish that they more Pokemon have these cool abilities, not just the little ones. But let's talk Vikavolt. Vikavolt looks so awesome. Yer, do you want to talk about Vigavolt? Because you talked about him a lot and you're pretty hyped about him.
I love the design. He looks like he's going to be amazing. I like. He feels like Pinsir to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas he looks amazing. He's gonna have one pretty good stat, and then the rest of them are gonna be mediocre. That's what I'm. That's the vibe I'm getting off of him, just because he's a bug type. There's not too many bug types that look amazing and have the stats to match it.
Yeah. Uh,
So it's like, let me see its stat line. If it's fast and hits hard, I'm gonna use it. If it hits hard and it's slow, I'm not gonna use it. If it's fast but doesn't hit hard, I'm not gonna use it. I know obviously every Pokemon can be
yeah.
competitive, but make it at least decently competitive. If it's gonna be fast and not too strong, give it base 95 special attack or base 95
And then you give it a
attack.
life orb or a Jspeckz or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough to
I
use.
completely agree. I feel like
It doesn't have to be base 115 attack or anything like that. At least let one of its offensive stats, because this thing looks like it's going to be an offensive monster and has a great typing. And it has levitate, even though it wouldn't be weak to earthquake anyway, I don't think, because I think bug resists earthquake. Um, so it gives you a earthquake switch in, earth power switch in. This can be another Nido Queen answer. Like this can be amazing. I just don't want them to ruin it.
I agree. Now let's talk about its you mentioned that it hopes to have high special attack. Something that I like to look for are like the small little details in trailers, specifically when it comes to Pokemon's damage and specs and tech and all that. And something I noticed was that when it showed its Zap Cannon, it was actually up against a Milotic. Now, it was level 39, the Milotic was, and the Vigavolt was level 41. So we obviously don't know the nature, stats, IVs, and all that. But I forget if Zap Cannon actually one-shotted the Milotic, or if it did over 60% damage. But it did a lot of damage to Milotic, which historically is a really bulky Pokemon in the special defensive spectrum. In VGC 15... at Nats, people used it to actually wall Thundurus. Now, of course, that was with the Moringa Berry, but it easily survived with about half its health from a Thundurus. And if this is a Vikavolt, I'm hoping this guy has a lot of special attack with decent speed, like you mentioned. So, that's what I predict. To have at least really high special attack, enough to do enough damage to, take a good chunk out of Milotic, because it clearly did so much in the trailer. Of course, again, we don't know the natures, IVs, and stats, but that was just an observation I had, and I'm hoping that he'll have really good stats, because I think we could use some more competitive bug-type Pokemon in the game. I mean, there's none I can think of right now, in VGC at least. In 15, you had some Volcarona, but hardly any, and then, none this year, so I'm really hoping that we get some bug-types, just to add a little more diversity.
The bug types need more love,
Definitely.
man. Give us some more bug types. I want to see some good fast bug types. It looks like, when I think bug, I think you're not gonna take a hit no matter what. So it doesn't have to be bulky. We already have Fortress and Scizor for that. Just give us something that comes in and hits hard, because we don't really have too many, if any at all, other than Galvantula, honestly, that have a decent speed stat and are able to hit hard. Minus Legends, of course, because Genesect, but...
I'm trying to think. Are there any legendary bug types?
Yeah, Genesect.
Oh, yeah, duh. Sorry, guys.
I think that might be the only one, though.
Yeah, so in VGC there isn't. So I'd be interested to see if they give us some more legendary bugs, just because that's the one type I feel like they specifically underpower. Next up is Bruxish, and I look at this thing and I'm thinking, huh, okay.
I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. It has an amazing ability, but no.
It looks like it's like the extremely, they tried, it's hard to explain how it looks. I don't like it, like you said. However, its ability, which I hope more Pokemon get, Dazzling, is actually really interesting because it basically is immune to priority, which would actually be interesting in competitive play because then you could minimize Prankster users, and if Talonflame's carried on, Prankster Gale Wings Bravebird, it's immune to all that, which I think is actually pretty cool.
It looks like it's gonna be another bulky water type because it doesn't give off the appearance of being a fast
No.
fish. You know, it looks intimidating by nature because of its hideous face, and it's going to be bulky. It has two very good abilities, which again, Game Freak just flexing the ability to spread abilities around, just giving great abilities to everything that they want to show us. Um, strong. I don't know if it's actually going to be able to use Strong Jaw.
It, I think it would have to be a physical psychic type. If it and other than Galate, I can't think of any. So
Yeah, that's weird if it's going to be a physical psychic type. Not saying it can't be
yeah.
done, but the physical move pool is kind of
Hmm.
scarce for psychic types. Whereas you have psychic, you have Psy Shock, you have Psycho Boost, you have all these good special psychic attacks, and all physical psychics have is Zen Headbutt.
The only Pokemon I can think of that's a water type is Sharpedo. When it Mega Evolves, it gets Strong Jaw. But at the same time, Sharpedo specifically is a great sweeper. You can protect, get a speed boost Mega Evolve, and you can one-shot Aegislash with Crunch. You can one-shot Dragon types with your Ice Fang, and then Waterfall, and then Protect, obviously. But obviously, Sharpedo was literally built with the goal of building a sweeper. Bruxfish, I feel like they just slapped on Strong Jaw because it had teeth.
Yeah, that they wanted to show very strong teeth.
Yeah.
My lord, I don't know. I don't. A lot of people on Twitter were going crazy over these new Pokemon designs, and I'm not gonna say I hate them all, but I don't like any of them other than Vigable.
I hear you. And then we have Cutie Fly.
I hate it.
You're just straight up like, I hate it. Just let's move on. There's not much to talk about, honestly. It's a bug fairy type.
I love the typing. That typing is amazing.
yeah.
But if this thing doesn't, I can see them pulling a Volbeat / Illumise with this and having it just be a crappy bug that doesn't evolve. If they do that, I hate it. But if it evolves, I would love to see Bug Fairy actually be a decent
I
typing.
completely agree with you. I feel like I feel like that if evolves, it'll be more of an in-game mon, just specifically of the ability Honey Gather. I feel like it's more of a Pokemon you use in-game, not competitive play.
Oh wait, they gave it Honey Gather game. I hate it. Nope. I hate it.
It has Shield Dust if that changes your mind.
Shield Dust is trash. Game Freak, what are you doing? You can't make something called Cutie Fly for one.
Yeah.
It's called Cutie Fly.
I know.
And it looks like this. I hate it. I hate it.
I'm just gonna.
In the
Yeah,
comment
let's move
section,
on. I
people-
completely agree, but
No. If people in the comment section, if you feel the same way I do, just put I hate it. Just put it. Put it in the comments. I hate it.
all right.
Shield Dust.
Oh wow. Just I don't blame you, honestly, though. They gave it Honey Gather. It's called the Bee Fly Pokemon. It's not even the Bee Pokemon Fly. It's the Bee Fly.
Nope, I hate it. Don't you try to defend it. Nope.
On the bright side,
Alright,
it
let's
just has
talk
big
about-
eyes going for them, but it reminds me more of a mosquito, to be honest.
Nope.
All right, shall we move on then?
Yep. Shield.
All right, so
Shield Dust.
ladies and gentlemen, I
Honey
believe
Gather.
I'm calling predictions here, but I'm predicting Jspeckz to, if he does catch a Cutie Fly, he's going to just immediately release it.
Yep, it's getting
Yeah,
released.
he's gonna catch it for the Pokedex, and then he's just gonna, anytime he sees one, he's just gonna straight up one shot it with Salgaleo or whatever. Just to
Yep,
end it.
I'm gonna go personally find it and just destroy it.
All right, Pokemon Genocide. Alrighty.
Unless it evolves. If it evolves to something without Honey Gather, then there's a chance, people. But nope. If it has Honey Gather, I hate it.
I'm trying to think. No, I was trying to think. Combi, and what's its evolution? Vespiquen?
Yep.
It actually gets pressure, right? Like, it doesn't keep Honey Gather?
Yeah, no, it gets pressure when it evolves. Only the female one evolves.
That's right.
And Vespaquin, even though it is ridiculously weak to rocks, used to be a very decent Pokemon in fourth
It
gen.
also has, 3 signature moves, which I actually like.
Yeah, attack order, heal order, defend order.
Yeah, it can
Not
literally
even bad.
heal. And I'm trying to think. Heal order, actually heals it. Defense order raises its defense. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then attack order actually does damage and raises its attack.
Yeah.
Or
No, attack order just does damage. I think defend order raises both defenses. I may be wrong
okay,
about that. I'm about to look it up actually, but I'm pretty sure it raises both defenses. And heal
it's like
order
recover.
is pretty much a roost
Okay.
recover.
And then next up is Togedemiro. I think that's how you say it. I am.
I like its name looks amazing. Other than that, I hate it. I'm joking. I don't hate it. I like the it has what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it does. It raises both defenses, but it has potential.
Are we talking about Vespa Queen or Togedemiro?
Now I'm talking about Toga Damaru. It has
All
potential
right.
to be decent. It has again two very good
Abilities.
abilities, amazing abilities.
Iron Barbs.
But why does this little round ball have iron
Now,
barbs?
when you see this, what do you think? Are you thinking Hedgehog? I'm
Kind
thinking
of.
Hedgehog, but it's called the Roly Poly Pokemon.
Well, and I mean, electric steel. That's a good typing
If it has Levitate.
if it has levitate. Otherwise, especially since it's gonna be bulky,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be bulky enough to take an earthquake, which is one of the most common moves in the game because almost everybody and their mom gets it, except for Kieran Black.
Yep. He does get Earth Power,
But
though.
yeah, if this thing doesn't look like it's gonna be bulky, but with the abilities it has, it seems like it has to be bulky.
Yeah.
Because if they make it so that it's not bulky, like it's just a fast mon, because again, this looks like another support mon. It looks like a support mon. If it's a fast support mon with iron barbs, it's just going to get destroyed.
I feel like it's gonna be like Dedenne. Like you'll catch it, but then not use it.
Oh, so trash is okay.
I mean, that's like you said. It has great abilities. Iron Barbs. I love it. I believe it's only exclusive to Ferrothorn and its pre-evolution right now, Ferroseed. But great ability. But it only works if you're a bulky mon. Ferrothorn, despite its 4 times weakness to fire, is actually a very bulky Pokemon. This guy
very
does not look bulky. Lightning Rod is great for support, but I mean, we already got Raichu. I used Raichu 2015 Nats. I loved it. It could raise my special attack and make me even a better sweeper. He's not going to be a sweeper. I feel like he's a trash mamba with great abilities. He's the roly poly Pokemon.
He is the steel electric cutie fly.
Yeah, it's just why.
Just give him shield dust. Give him shield dust.
And then just all right.
That's all it needs.
All right, now we actually have some. I'm pretty hyped. So I believe there's going to be 4 of these guys, but we have a low. No, I think that's still speculation, but I believe it's widely accepted there's going to be 4. The Guardian Deity Pokemon. I'm reading right off here, so I don't know if it's considered a legendary or not, but it is the Pokemon Tapu Koko.
I love it.
Nice. So let's talk about him then. First off, I love it because his ability, I'm really hyped about Electric Surge. Because no one really used the field moves, if you know what I mean, like the Electric Terrain, Misty Terrain to the train moves, because it took a turn and they didn't do much. But Electric Surge is actually really cool because first off, Pokemon can't fall asleep. So there's our answer to Smeargle. You can switch him in, you can't fall asleep. Secondly, it raises the attack of electric moves, I believe, by 50%. So now you're making all your electric Pokemon more powerful. Here, I'll let you talk about it because it's the Pokemon you actually love and not hate.
I love it. I love its typing. I love what this is going to be able to do for League format because I am a big League format guy. Just think of this thing on a rain team. Just think of it.
Yeah.
Those electric terrain rain boosted thunders 24/7. Electric Fairy is an amazing typing. I love it. I love its design. I love it. He's absolutely the complete opposite of Cutie Fly. He is beautiful.
It's ironic
I would give
because
him a hug.
some could argue Cutiful. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you said it. I was mixed up beautiful and cute. Never mind. Something I like to talk about real quickly is the fact that I think We can agree there's gonna be four of these guys, right?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be four because I think they all combine to make the the standard, well, not standard, but the totem
Yeah.
pole situation.
And this guy may
And
be
I
the
mean
head.
that would be cool. I just hope that they're not insert different color but same design here. I hope they have at least a little bit of aesthetic
Yeah.
differences to make them, more unique. How you see Mesper and
Hmm.
Azelf are, even though they kind of all look the same, they have their small differences. I hope these are all like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
But I love what they're doing with the Hawaiian culture. I love how they're trying to really push for the spread of this is in
Yeah.
Hawaii, and you're gonna feel Hawaii, and you're going to have to drink drinks inside of pineapples while you play this game.
Oh, definitely. So what I want to know though is the stats. I mean, if when you first see him, he's in his mask, and
Yeah.
or no, I forget if that's your first time or not. But basically, there's two forms of him. I feel like there's the one where he's in this mask and looks like a bird head, and there's the ones where he reveals himself and it looks like he's holding two weapons, like two shields. So I want to
Yeah.
know is are there going to be two forms to this guy, like a kind of like Aegislash, where he has a defensive form and then an offensive form, or is he just going to
I mean,
generally have good all around stats?
if it was like that, then I think he would have a different
Yeah, that's
ability.
true.
But I mean, I can see it. I can either see him being two ways. I can see him being a beast on both sides
Hmm.
offensively and being fast, or I can see him just being ridiculously bulky on both
Yeah,
sides.
and
And just a deal to, like, again, another support mon. I don't know what I think about the Gen 7 and all these support mons, but this is either going to be an offensive sweeper or one of the best support mons in the
I
game.
completely agree, 100%. And let's talk about the other four Pokemon really quickly. So I feel like they're all going to maintain that fairy typing, and then the second one. Like, I think he was called the Land Spirit Pokemon, so I bet we'll have like an Ocean Spirit Pokemon, maybe a Sky Spirit Pokemon, and maybe one other one. But I feel like that all of them will maintain that fairy typing, but then have like a water one, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe a flying one, or I don't know, or maybe.
From I seen some pictures on Twitter of the totem
Mhm.
pole that they think it's going to be when it's
All right.
complete, and the typings everyone are expecting is electric, fire, water, and
Oh
grass.
wow. I was actually about to say maybe it'll actually be because I was thinking fire, red, blue, and then yellow. So yeah, that actually is another really good point. It could be fire, water, grass, which I would also love to see. Um, and then what I also wonder is, do you think they'll be like you have to catch him like when you see him? I feel like you're gonna meet him like at the more towards the beginning of the game. So my two ideas is: are you gonna have to catch him like post game, and he'll be like Suicune? You see him throughout the game, in like Heart Gold and Soul Silver when you see Suicune throughout the game, because when the only footage of him in game when shows when he's battling shows the turn to the background, which confirms that we can actually catch him, but he's at level 60. So like I want to know, do you have? So I wonder if that's like already late game or is that they just caught him, and if the other monsters are the
I
same.
I hope that they milk this whole, like, if they're gonna go all out and have four protectors of each
Yeah,
island, then I want there to be four specific situations that make these deities have to come out,
yeah,
with which they either see that you're worthy of them and then give you the chance to catch them after the situation is
yeah,
handled, or something like that. Like, if they're going to have four deities, then obviously, and then you're going to call them the protectors of each island, then there has to be a reason why that these protectors have to come out and protect their islands.
yeah. Something I feel like though, when I see Tapu Koko, I don't know why, but I feel like he'll be a gift Pokemon. Like he'll kind of just be given to you, and it reminds me of Oras. I hope that's not the case, but that's what I feel like because it reminds me of Oras when they added that quick little Latios scene, which honestly was just added in my opinion. But I liked having a level 30 Latios in game that can Mega Evolve. I thought that was a cool little thing they did. Not the strongest
Yeah,
legendary,
that's.
but still pretty fun to use.
I mean, if Tapu Koko is given to you, that's fine as long as he's just like the key to getting the other
Yeah,
ones
yeah,
or waking
exactly.
the other ones up, and then you have to catch them. Then that wouldn't be a problem. Or he's given, or let's say he just joins your team when something happens, and you help him take care of the issue.
Yeah.
Like, because in the trailer, you guys are having a ceremony or
Hmm.
something or a ritual to either worship him or bring him forth or something like that, and then he comes down.
Hmm.
So let's say that happens, then something bad happens, and he tries to take care of it, and you go help, and he appreciates your help and joins your
Yeah.
party, and then you go to the next island you're supposed to go to or whatever. Like I feel like at the end of whatever adventure you're supposed to do on each island, something should happen to make the deity pop
Yeah.
up. And since there's so many legends in the game so far that we already know about, because obviously Zygarde is a thing, Lunala and
Hmm.
Solgaleo are a thing. So I mean, obviously there's, and then these deities are a thing. So I mean, make it even whether. Oh, we haven't even seen the evil team yet, have
No, we have
we?
not. So there's still a lot of
Oh
speculation there.
my goodness, yeah, but I feel like they're whatever the motive behind the evil team is, they're going to attempt to do something on the
Yeah.
island, and it's going to disrupt the balance of the island, whether it be making a volcano get ready to erupt or something like that of the sort, or just some type of well, not natural, obviously, man-made catastrophe. And then the deity pops up. And it's just like, yo, we got to handle this. And then you're like, and then somebody like how Steven popped up with the Kyogre Groudon Rayquaza
Yeah.
issues and comes up and tells you that you're strong enough to do it and that he needs your help, and then you go help him, and then stuff like that. Like I don't want them to be, cookie cutter and just follow that every time they make a
Yeah.
game. I want them, like, that's why, like you say, you didn't really like Gen 5. I actually loved Gen 5's main story. I hated the post game, like, because I loved the differences, the darker feel they took to it with Gen
Mm.
5. Like it seemed like story wise they really tried, and I want them to actually try for this game. Like I want a deep story.
Yeah.
Like not saying that it necessarily needs to be a longer story, and obviously the story isn't. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I play through a Pokemon game, I love the
Oh no,
story.
yeah, I agree.
When I love the story, that I have a feeling already I'm gonna be able to play Sun and Moon over multiple
Hmm.
times because I'm already guaranteeing that I'm going to play it multiple times with each starter just to find out which starter I like more so. And I'm probably going to go buy Sun and Moon this weekend because my birthday. So I'm gonna go pre-order it. But I don't know, man. All I'm just surprised at how much information we're
Hmm.
getting, and when they showed Tapu Koko, that just kind of blew mine. Like that just took my hype for the game that much higher. Cause I'm the type of I'm weird when it comes to spoilers. I like spoilers and I don't like spoilers at the same
Yeah,
time.
I'm the same way.
Like if you just come out and spoil something to me randomly, I'm gonna be mad at you. But if we're talking about something and you and some people start talking about a specific thing I want to know about and it piques my interest, and then I'm like, yeah, go ahead, spoil it, I don't care,
Hmm.
then I'm fine. Like spoilers are only bad to me if I don't want them, and I 100% want spoilers. It's not going to spoil how I go with the game at all.
Yeah, definitely. One more thing I'd like to mention. Oh, sorry, my throat's getting parched real quickly. Is I know that it's most likely obvious that they're going to create a totem pole, and this is a thought I just had, but it's possible that the evil team may need all four to create a totem pole, and then that may unlock the entrance or gate or whatever to access Solgaleo or Lunala. That's just another thought I had. It's possible,
Hmm.
but the story is still highly speculative. Often, also when we learn the name of the evil team, that'll also shed more light on their goal. But I think we can just agree that Tapu Koko was the best Pokemon they released out of the bunch they released. Can we agree on that? With
Yeah,
Vikavolt behind, and then other than
yeah,
everything
it's
else, I was
Tapu
just.
Koko.
I mean, I like Drompo, but obviously, no, not that most people don't share that appreciation for that archaic look. But I do like Vikavolt a lot. But I feel like everything else was just great abilities, but the Pokemon just again eh. Of course,
Eh.
Leafage was fun to read about. Some
Yeah, I mean,
leaves.
those just get hit by some
Yeah,
leaves.
just some leaves. Alrighty, well that's a lot about this. Shall we discuss competitive games, and obviously not just VGC because there's other leagues out there. Wink, wink, hint, hint. PMC, UPC.
Indeed.
All right, so we'll discuss nationals first, I guess. But for those of you that don't know, nationals took place this week in the official VGC national tournament, and there was a lot of great games I saw. I don't know if everyone else saw it. Say in the comments if you saw that, some of the battles or whatever. But in the VGC specifically, I really enjoyed the gameplay. It made me more hyped to compete back in Houston. But at the same time, Xerneas Groudon won nationals, and that really disappointed me because it wasn't a Big Six team because they used like an offensive Cresselia, Chase, who won. But still, Xerneas Groudon is it's basically chalk. You know, everyone uses chalk. Well, Xerneas Groudon is basically those two is like the most common thing. And I saw a lot of unique things, and I was really disappointed that something unique did not win Nats. And again, there was an offensive Cresselia, but the two primals that were used were the ones almost everyone uses. I was really disappointed by that, to be honest. Jspeckz, I know you're planning on doing VGC and you know about it. So what are your thoughts on Xerneas Groudon actually winning nationals?
I don't like how legend heavy, because me as a Pokemon player growing up, was always against legends, you
Yeah.
know. The I only recently got into liking, like, being okay using legends because of Smogon, and it was the easiest way for me to just get a whole bunch of games in. So that opened me up to the Landorusterians, you know, the Tornadus T's, the Kyurem Blacks, stuff like that. But I still never would touch the Ubers tier because like I've said in previous episodes, I'm not a fan of the
Yeah.
behemoths. Like, yes, design wise, they may be amazing, but I don't like using the behemoths. I don't. So the fact that Groudon and Xerneas and, you know, Mega Rayquaza and Kyogre, that's my main thing pushing me away from VGC. Like, that's the only reason why I haven't already gotten into it.
Mhm.
So seeing those two, which were obviously top, they were the most common mons used, is kind of bleh.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can't be mad at it because obviously somebody was going to use them,
Yeah.
but it's just the fact that I mean, I guess whatever isn't broke, don't fix
Yeah.
it. But still, it's just like, come on, you're gonna. That's like, if you want to take it in sense of sports, you take the, you know, the USA Olympic basketball team that signed up. They don't have
Yeah.
LeBron. They don't have, like, LeBron's not playing this year. Uh, I think Steph Curry might be, but it's like all of the best players, you know, aren't playing.
Mhm.
Some of them are. Like, it'll be okay if you just use Xerneas, but you don't need Xerneas and Groudon. Like, you don't need to take the two most used mons and put them on the team. That's it's I don't know. I was trying to go somewhere with that, but then I mean, it's kind of not really a point
Yeah.
too, because obviously people have their intentions. I mean, some people are going to be like, well, they're good mons, so I'm going to use good mons, you know, because there's always those type of people.
Mhm.
But it's just like, I don't know. I like using things that work for me,
Yeah.
and obviously Xerneas and Groudon are things that work for
Yeah.
everybody.
Personally, I've never used a Xerneas Groudon combination. I'm not a fan of that. Actually, wait, I think I had tested one team with it, but I wasn't a fan, so I won't say I never used it. But actually, I am using one Behemoth or Uber class Pokemon. I'm using Ho-Oh in my team. I'm planning on bringing to Houston. Still a lot depends on the meta when it becomes. But I also like that. Like, I'm not using, a Primal or Mega Rayquaza. I'm using Ho-Oh, which I didn't see one Ho-Oh at all at Nats, which really surprised me. So I'm hoping to see more diversity at least with all of these Uber class legendaries. Like, I want to see people use Lugia. I mean, saw like one or two Kyurem Whites, but I want to see more diversity, not just everyone use a Primal and then Xerneas. It's just sigh.
Yeah, sigh, literally. Like, if I had to pick a legend that I love, it would be Suicune and Darkrai. Like, design wise, I feel like Darkrai has the best legendary design. It looks amazing. I love
Yeah.
Darkrai. 100%. It is amazing. It is everything you'd want in the mon that it is. Like, it looks menacing. It's a dark type. It's strong. It's perfect. But that doesn't mean I would use it. Like, Darkrai doesn't even feel like a behemoth to me, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it does have Dark Void. you could argue. But if you look at his stats, I mean, his speed's only 80, so he's easily outsped. His stats are actually just mediocre. But I do agree. I would not call him a behemoth at all, but I do believe that his design is just spot on.
Not even bad, man. Not even bad. Darkrai. Oh, I love Darkrai.
Yeah.
Patters, I'm gonna steal your mascot. JK. Apparently, my mascot is Hydreigon.
Nice.
So,
All right, and now we can talk about the PMC guys. PMC season 2 coming up soon.
all right. For those of you who don't know, I am the commissioner of the PMC. I am the one who created it. Tyler is my co-commissioner. He is the one I go to when I have, some thoughts or something. I feel as if I need help with something. I go to him, whether it just be a decision I need help making because I don't want to make it on my own, and he's there to help me out. He's the backbone. He's the help every good league owner needs. And if you don't know, it is called the Pokemon Masters Cup, and we are now going into season two. We are currently in D League season one, looking for the final two members to join our season two roster for the main season because we are expanding. Season one we were 12 people. Season two we are going to be 16, and I literally have the roster filled. Like I have all 14 of the other people, but I promised the D leaguers minimum two spots, so minimum two of them are getting in, with a maximum depending on if I need to replace anybody or something like that. Because I'm trying to do all my replacements before the season
Yeah.
starts. Maximum four people because I have a capture card. A lot of my players in season one had a capture
Hmm.
card, but most of these D leaguers do not have a capture card. So 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be the one that's going to have to pick up the slack and record for those that don't have it, which is why I'm trying to eliminate as many people without capture cards as I
Yeah.
can. So, two of them. So now only two of them will get in without capture cards, and I have a lot of my friends, some of them that didn't have it before, have them now. So we'll be able to. But as far as the PMC people, it is a draft-based format. If you've never heard of the Global Battle Association, the GBA, it is basically like that. We draft the same way, except we just have a few differences as far as tiers. Like some of our mons, like the I wouldn't say we necessarily copy them, but we copy them tier-wise because their tiering was foolproof. Obviously, there's a few mods everyone disagrees with, so we made changes depending on that. But as far as fairness goes, in my opinion, the best way to go about a league like this is to have their type of tier
Oh,
system.
completely agree.
Yeah, so we have a tier system. I'm not gonna go in depth with how the tier system is, but so you have a certain amount of mons you have to get. Like you have to have one tier one mon, which costs 180 points. One tier two mon, which costs either 140, 120. I'm not sure if we're changing that this season yet or not. One tier three mon, which is 100 points. I'm sorry, two tier three mons, which are 100 points each. One tier four, which is now 60 points, and then one tier five, which is 40
Yeah.
points. Now, as far as the point total, there is no point total for you. You must have at least one of each of those with at least two tier threes and a mega Pokemon. And from then on, your last four Pokemon, you have 400 points to spend to draft the rest of your roster. That's where the points come
Yeah.
in. Depending on your mega choice, you may get more points, you may not get more points, you may take away points, stuff like that. But yeah, so you pretty much have a point allotment to dimmy up the rest of the four mons. So you can solidify your Pokemon in an amazing way with those 400 points, or you can just go ahead and draft whatever. Like it's up to you, obviously, but you gotta try to make the best team you can make.
Hmm.
And this is counter league format, just like the GBA. So you pretty much have it. We all have schedules set. You have your opponent each week, and you basically take your team of 11 mons, and you prep against your opponent's team of 11
Basically, yeah.
mons. And
But you
yeah,
only bring
so I mean,
six.
yeah, you only bring six, obviously, but you have to basically take your team of 11 and make the best combination of six that can deal with like with all 11 of their Pokemon. So you basically have to prepare for every Pokemon they can possibly bring so that when you play them, you're not caught off guard by like, oh no, I only prepped for these six and they brought the completely different six
Yeah.
or something like yeah. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. So I mean, this is my favorite way to play Pokemon. League format is insane. It's so much fun. I didn't think it was going to be as much fun as it is, especially on Wi-Fi. And I'm hyped and excited to get going with season two. We have a lot of people joining us,
Hmm.
whether it be for staff or to play. And I will do those introductions as the time comes. Hint, hint, Aerodactyl. Hint, hint.
Yes. So hyped to be an analyst.
Yeah, Arrow. He's doing a little bit of analyst practice in a league called the GPC with Tyler to get him ready for the big dogs. So yeah, he's going to be an analyst for us for season
Hmm.
two, and I'm excited to see how that goes for him.
Thanks. And let's talk about the UPC. Tyler was supposed to be joining us, but unfortunately, I don't think he was able to make it. But I was hoping to be able to talk about it with him. But let's talk about it. So, for those of you that don't know, I actually was part of the UPC VGC league back. I like to say January, February time, around then. But after my first week, the league basically closed down because of organizational issues. I won my first match though, which was actually against phantombass. So I was really hyped to be part of the VGC league, but then it crumbled, which is unfortunate. But I'm happy to be an analyst
Rip
for
the
season
league.
2, and I look forward to seeing where this league will go. Also, I'd like to point out that the PMC has a website, so you know it's legit. When a league has a website, you know it's legit.
Yep, we have a website, we have a channel, we have a Twitter. If any of you are interested in helping out or being a competitor going forward, we also have an application that will be opened up after. It's not going to be opened up yet, just because season two is pretty much full. But going forward, we will have the application open. And I mean, if any of you want to keep in touch with the PMC at all, obviously you can contact me on. I'm the best way
Hmm.
for you to get involved with the PMC. Contact me directly on Twitter. Um, but other than that, I mean, if you just want to watch or be an analyst or anything like that, make sure you follow the PMC channel to be up to date when we're looking for
Yeah.
help and stuff like that.
And I'm really a huge fan of the PMC because I feel like it's basically like basically a newer or a younger GBA. Obviously, the Global Battle Association had more just more more subscriber based players. However, the PMC has just as much action. You guys are going to love it. I hope you guys check out season 2, and it's gonna be great. I really look forward to seeing the league continue to grow and expand.
Yeah, I'm hype. And for those of you that don't understand, the reason why I made the PMC is because when I first started doing YouTube, there were a bunch of leagues
Yeah.
like this, and obviously I couldn't get into GBA, I couldn't get into UCL, and there was a smaller league for literally smaller tubers, and I got denied because apparently I didn't upload enough. And though that is one of the things I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say we discriminate if you don't upload enough. If you don't currently upload enough on your channel, that's not necessarily an issue. As long as you can, commit
Yeah.
to whatever schedule we have set forth. Like if you're a competitor, as long as you could commit to a team builder on Saturday and uploading your battle on Sunday, you can join.
Yep.
Stuff like that. And if you're an analyst, depending on what battle, I mean, what video or I'll call it a project just
Yeah.
because video sounds kind of weird in that sense. Depending on what project you join, you can either have one or two, videos a week. So it's not like you're sitting there making videos every 2 days or
Yeah.
anything like that. You're basically just on a once a week type of thing. Again, depending on your project, some people like to join multiple projects because they just like, helping
Yeah.
out people. Some people just like with me. I love being in as, as much videos as possible. I feel like the more things I can do is fun. So I mean, stuff like that. I'm trying to remember. I'm not necessarily losing my train of thought. It's just somebody is actually messaging me about the
Oh wow.
PMC right at this very moment. But it's just, yeah, I made it because getting denied hurts.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of smaller tubers that I see on Twitter all the time, whether it be by a retweet or just me following them or them tweeting at me or just tweeting at my friends and they retweet stuff like that. and there's so many YouTubers looking for leagues, and they're never going to get into the leagues. Like a lot of people are looking for Wi-Fi leagues, even though not a lot of them do showdown just because they have to, and they don't think they're going to find somebody that's going to be able to record their battles for them. A lot of people are looking for leagues and they're getting denied because they're a smaller
Yeah.
channel. And I, being the PMC, I want to give these smaller channels the opportunity to get in. Yet not saying that um we're just gonna let anyone in, because obviously I have to feel as if not necessarily a benefit, but I have to be able to trust you,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to give anybody the chance as long as they don't make me look stupid. We have people that have never played, some people that never even played competitive Pokemon before. No, obviously no shots being taken, but Twisted Misty, she never, like, yeah, she battled some people before, but she's not a competitive battler in the least bit. Like, she's never considered herself a competitive battler at all, and she reached out to me and she wanted to do it. I gave her a chance, and she turned out to be a great friend. Like, she's one of my good friends. Her and her husband Johan. It's like, that's another thing, man. Leagues like this give me the opportunity to meet a whole bunch of great people. It's just like, if you want the opportunity to join a league like this, or somebody that wants an opportunity to join a league like this, contact me.
And
Contact me
before
directly.
we close off, I'd like to just say, guys, I think that's the great part about the PMC. Like, it's for smaller channels. Basically channels of any size. We, if you don't mind me speaking for the league, we accept everybody. Well, obviously not everybody, but a lot of people. I hope I'm saying this right. But what I like about the PMC is that channels of any sizes can come, but also they can grow through the PMC. You get to, like you said, you get to meet people. You can do and then you can have future collaborations with these people. You can become friends, and through networking and meeting a lot of people, you can grow. And I think that's one of my favorite things is the PMC provides a great community that basically just supports the players support each other, and they will grow through it.
Yeah, we're all about community, man. I'm like I said, I know how it feels to be denied by a league that you wanted to join just because you thought, hey, I mean, these are smaller tubers. Maybe I can get in and have some fun doing this too. Because not too many people know how fun league format is,
Yeah.
until you get into it. So it's just like, yeah, man. Uh, if like I said, those season two was full. D League season two may be a thing depending on how I feel after season two comes. If you want to, we will most likely be looking for a whole new cast for that. So if you want to, like I said, if you want to join that, hit me up. If you want to be an analyst, hit me up as soon as possible. I have a bunch of analysts, but obviously more is never, it's never a problem having more than what you need.
Yeah.
And I just want to be able to make sure that none of my guys are overloaded and that we have enough people so that all videos will be up on
Mm-hmm.
time.
And what's also nice about having more analysts is that you can have two analysts working on the same project, and if one is on vacation that week or can't, then the other analyst that runs it can upload that and record that, which is also nice.
Exactly. I appreciate it. And again, I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to talk about my league, man, because this is actually my baby. Like, this is everything to me right now. This is, I wouldn't say, oh, I think Tyler is about to
He's
join.
about to join in, and then maybe we can talk about more leads real quickly if y'all want to.
Yeah,
Hello, my friend.
he is here. The horse has arrived, people. Say hello to the Phantom Pony himself.
Nay, hello,
He
my
has
friend.
he has neighed. He is here.
All right. If you
We
guys
were
would,
we were just shamelessly plugging the PMC. You missed it.
I heard, I listened for a little bit.
You want to shameless plug your shameless?
I can shameless plug the UPC for only slightly bit after I've shameless plugged some more of the PMC because that's also my number one priority. Yes, everything they said is wonderful about PMC.
Shame.
Please do not feel bad that you could if you weren't able to get in for season two. We do want to have more people in, as far as analysts go, as far as maybe even a D League too, as Jspeckz said. Just please keep in contact, keep paying attention, and please keep watching the videos because we love the support that we've been getting from it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the support has been amazing. The Twitter has passed 100 followers. It's
Woohoo!
crazy.
yeah,
Um, I am a horse. The head
that is also true.
horse. I am
That
the
is
head
true.
horse. The head horse.
Mayor McHorse Cheese.
Mayor McHorse. Yes. And as far as the UPC, I honestly wouldn't feel bad about doing. I wouldn't say a combination, but a combination.
That'd be kind of cool. Oh, it's kind of
Like-
like the two NPLs are doing a league war.
Oh, a league war. I mean, if you want to do a league
I
war,
mean,
That'd be kind of
like,
cool.
how about league just friendly competition? I feel like war seems a little.
no, I was saying more on the lines of we support
Oh
each other.
yes,
You know how
Yeah.
like having like let's say instead of it being the PMCD league, or we can have the UPC be the official off league for the PMC.
I'm all,
Something
That
like
might be
that.
it.
Like we'd have to change the name or something to try to combine it to make it make sense.
Yeah.
or
But
you could have
if
or you could have another sub series where you take like maybe the top 8 players from both leagues and put them against each other, or something like
yeah,
that.
do like that'd be a good idea. That'll be something we discuss off camera, I think.
and even though some of the people from the UPC are in the PMC, but
That is true.
It's true.
Well, a person is in the PMC main season. One's in D League right now.
yeah.
That's literally it. And then Arrow is an analyst who is also an analyst for PMC.
And Arrow is also a horse.
Oh.
People.
That is
Rock,
true. Well,
rock,
that is the common theme running through these leagues.
Yeah.
They're all horses here.
Rockin'
Well,
I'm a
horse.
valiant steed.
Rockin' horse.
The steed.
Oh my.
Yeah, but I mean we're all horses here, aren't we?
That is
Yep.
true.
I mean,
Very true.
what else? What's better than having a little bit of horse in you? You know.
Having a lot of horses.
I mean, I do have a lot
yeah,
of
that's
horse.
true.
True.
Yeah,
Okay.
completely agree. Horse.
Now, are you going to shamelessly plug the UPC, or do I have to shamelessly plug the UPC?
You guys talk about one thing for a couple seconds. I'm gonna get in the car, and then I will shamelessly plug the UPC.
Oh my, he's getting in the car, so I'm gonna shamelessly plug his SoundCloud. It is Phantom Pony. He makes pony music, people. 24. No, he doesn't. He doesn't make pony music. They're gonna look this guy up on SoundCloud and be upset when they don't find any pony music.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Tyler. It's not my fault you're a pony.
Man, oh man. Seriously though, I think that combination between leagues, like something like that'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just call all of them a horse, and it would be
Yeah,
fun.
it'd be a lot of fun.
A lot of people don't like being called a horse, though.
Yeah, but you know we're friends here. We love it.
Yeah, we're all friends. If you're not a horse, then go home.
Yep. Alrighty, is Tyler back on?
Is the pony here? Pony. Pony.
We have too much fun doing podcasts.
The pony is not
Nope.
here.
But honestly, that's not a bad thing. Having too much fun, I'm saying. To
No,
clarify.
that my main issue is I have way too much fun when I actually do record.
But honestly, I think that's, being a YouTuber and recording games is fun. I think we're supposed to have fun.
Yeah, I think until Sun and Moon comes out, I'm just going to take a heavy competitive Mons approach on my channel for a while, just because I had an LP plan, but I need to get a layout for it, so I have to get the layout first. And then,
Just a thought, we could do VGC prep.
ooh, VGC. And then like my friend was going to do some like competitive league guides. And I mean, it kind of piqued my interest a little bit, but I kind of want to get into top 10s, top 5, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And Tyler, I think, is calling.
I think he is. Alright, so, are we all here?
What happened? Did we crash?
I think there was a new call.
Yeah, there was a new call, and then I was calling you a pony, and you didn't answer.
No.
That's because I had to rip because I went out of the Wi-Fi range.
Oh, okay.
So now
Like I
can
said,
I call you a
getting him out.
pony?
Yes, you can call me.
Yes, you can call me a pony all you want. I'm going to get gas.
I didn't want to
Nah,
work.
he's
I didn't want to work.
Oh.
Pony.
So yes.
So yes, I am definitely a pony.
Pony.
So are we back?
So are we back to recording?
We're still
Yes.
here.
We never stop.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well,
You're fine.
if that is the case, then yes, I am a pony. And UPC plug time.
Woo!
Well, for one thing, this is a revival of a league that I did way back when I first got into league format, and I was trash.
Shameless plug is shameless.
That's true. I am also less trash now, but I'm still trash. Garboder is almost always on my team.
You can't say I am still trash, but I'm less trash.
I mean, Garboder is on my squad, so
That is true.
that being said, the first season we kind of tried to allow some Ubers to try to have a little bit more fun with it, and realized how terrible of an idea that was. So we hopped to standard kind of ish tier style or GBA style drafting ish fun stuff with our own tier list. Things have been edited, moved around a little bit because I don't quite like all the GBA changes. For example, I don't believe Chansey should be tier 2. Anyway.
I mean, it is the best setup fodder in the game.
It's true, but it's also the best special wall in the game.
I mean, but a physical Charizard Y can come in and take absolute advantage of Chansey. Ooh, he has his Zard Y. Let me send him my Chansey to wall him.
Rock Smash.
Wait, D-Dance. Wait.
D-Dance Charizard Y.
Yeah.
Yes. Dan did it in I mean not yet. A-Drive did it in GBA, I think season 3.
Wow.
Something like that.
All I know is one season he had a Charizard Y and he was up against Miguel, and Miguel sent in his special counter, and then this man clicked Flare Blitz, and he was like, wait, Flare Blitz?
That's great.
And then he ripped whatever mon Miguel had on the field. It was hilarious.
Great.
That's great.
That's just great. I mean, you think about it, his
yes.
attack, Charizard already has pretty decent stats. His attack isn't dropping when he Mega Evolves into Charizard Y, so.
No, it goes up.
So,
But
104.
it's not as much as
it gets
Charizard
104.
Wait, my lord, its attack is 104. Yeah, that was clean. Dan, I commend you. That was beautiful.
At the same time, I feel like you could also do, I mean, if you think about it, if you want to do physical Charizard, you could also do a special Charizard Y. I mean, Charizard X. I was going to do special Charizard Y. Charizard X, you do have his ability, which does make it better as a physical. But he has 130 special attack, but I think physical Charizard Y
I'm
would
sorry, it's all changed. But
trump physical X.
Wait, Rip? What happened?
sorry, I'm at the gas station.
But going back, I
Wait,
do feel like physical Charizard Y would be better than special Charizard X.
Yeah.
I love that we're having conversation
Okay.
about Pokemon that's supposed to be special being physical, and vice versa. Alright.
Yo, I'm actually now considering drafting Charizard Y.
Just,
All I'm gonna say is Roshan's plan to run a special Mega Lopunny is the stupidest idea I've ever heard of.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I called him a horse. I was like, yeah, you do that and you'll get destroyed for the waste of an amazing
what?
Mega.
Speaking of Roshan, I do battle him week 1, which is amazing because I have Mega Gardevoir, which completely does work against Mega Lopunny.
Special.
Well-
Mega Lopunny has 54 special attack. What?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
It's worse
like-
than. It's terrible. Yeah, exactly.
Why?
But
He was
anyway.
like, I'm gonna run max special attack, and I was like, and you're gonna do a great job of wasting a
You
Mega.
could have a max.
He was saying that because he was saying that because I'm ginning his mons every other week, and he knows that I was in the chat. So
I'm just saying, even if you gave it choice specs, max special attack, modest, hyper beam with stab would still do nothing. I mean, that's.
anyway, so we're gonna continue with the plugging in the UPC and say that we're gonna start out with only 12 teams, but so much interest developed that we had to expand to 16.
That's right.
And I had to grab a couple analysts too because I do want to do some small analyst videos.
Woo.
Things like gas prices went down. Anyway, things like power rankings, a recap video, and a top plays. That's really all I'm looking for. And we've got our power rankers and our top plays person. Shout out to Rockin Aerodactyl and a couple other people that I don't know their names off the top of my head, but I will have to.
Isn't Detroit? I forget if it's Detroit Magnetron, but something Magnetron is I believe an analyst. He contacted me, but that's the only other one I know about.
Yeah, the guy that contacted you is an analyst.
Detroit Magnetrons, yeah, I got it right.
Yeah, he's our power ranker, and he's getting you in on that video, which is cool because I kind of like to have more than one person doing rankings.
Yeah.
But and so far we only have one team left to finish their roster because we had to skip people because people are slow. And so with that, once that roster is complete, you will see our first uploads, I believe, are going to be our power ranking is going to all the analyst videos are going to be a week before the first battle, and we're going to do our first battle uploads are going to be on the 21st, I believe. So that'll be a thing. So be watching, and I'm going to hopefully be able to kind of keep this in line. I don't want to have to watch it too much because that's why I grabbed a good bit of a squad together to kind of help me keep them in line when I'm not there. And so, yeah. We have the UPC, and then of course PMC Season 2 is hype as ever. I'm excited for this draft, even if I am number 12 out of 16 in the draft order. Anyway. So that's the thing. It's still gonna be good. We're gonna have a good time in Season 2 on that.
Great.
I'm looking forward to PMC.
Would any of those analysts like to be analysts for PMC Season 2?
I will certainly ask them.
I mean, I'll be an analyst for Season 2.
I know Arrow is, and I'm gonna try to see if I can grab a couple people. For sure.
Because with how things have changed, we're having about 3 or 4 less analysts than I expected, which is still about 7 or 8, which is still a lot, but I still don't know how many of them I can really trust, so I'd rather have as many as possible.
That makes sense. I will certainly ask, because that's what we're trying to do, is try to see if we can get the UPC and the PMC to collaborate.
Collaboration.
Stop, collaborate, and listen. We're gonna try to get us working together, and hopefully we can do some champions tournament where we have what we should do is after the PMC has its playoffs and the PMC has its playoffs, we need to get the top 4 people or the semifinalists from each playoffs to have their own tournament thing. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. That way it'd be like 8 people, so it'd be like quarterfinals, semifinals, and then finals there as well.
The champion. Well, I can't think of anything else to talk about. I mean, this has been an hour, basically an 82-minute long podcast so far. So good job, guys. I mean, longest one yet. All right. So with that, I believe I will close this off unless anyone else wants to talk about anything else.
Nope, shameless plug is shameless.
Alrighty. Well, if that is the case, then guys, thank you so much for... I'm hearing sirens. Is anyone else there?
Yeah, it's on my side. There were fire trucks passing by.
Oh, no, you're good. Well, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching again. I'm the Rockin Aerodactyl with my 2 good friends, Jspeckz.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
And Tyler Keaton, also known as phantombass. We're just a bunch of horses.
You know that's.
I heard Aerodactyls from Texas is doomed.
Whoa.
Oh, all right, hang up before we have this problem on here.
I had to hit it with the sandy cheeks, but I did it with a Patrick voice.
Well, guys, again, thank you for watching. And also, if you guys want to check out the leagues, I will leave the links to both Twitters and both YouTube channels in the description. I will also leave links to, you can already see on the screen, but also leave links to Jspeckz and Phantombass's Twitters down in the description and both their channels. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.
Check Aerodactyl SoundCloud.
It's fire.
Rockin Aerodactyl has the best SoundCloud of all time.
True.
Thanks, guys.
Only Kanye up in here.
Oh my.